What is up, rockers? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms. I'm Shinchi42. If you are new and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd like to invite you now. Click that subscribe button, turn that notification on, so whenever I'm uploading Rise of Kingdoms content, you will get notified. And if you haven't joined our Discord, don't forget to do so as well. And if you want to play this game on your computer, I have a link on the description below. Click that and download BlueStacks and start playing Rise of Kingdoms on your computer. Now in this video, what we're going to talk about are commanders that you should avoid when you are playing Rise of Kingdoms. So if you are new, it's going to be very beneficial for you into your success in Rise of Kingdoms. And now if you are an old player, how can this benefit you? Well, it can benefit you by not using them when you already have them. And you can guide new players to not invest on them. Okay, so let's go into our commanders tab in here. And as you can see, I have a good amount of commanders in here, but yet I still also have a lot of commanders that I didn't really invest on. So since epic commanders are, relatively easy to obtain and maxed out, what we're going to be focusing on is legendary commanders. So legendary commanders that you should avoid in Rise of Kingdoms. We're going to help you save some sculptures in here, some legendary commander sculptures, save you some money, save you also some time, and save you some stars, okay? So this is all the things that I'm going to be doing for you. This is really a good solid that I'm doing for you guys. All right, so we're going to talk about the commanders that you should avoid. So of course, everything that I have in here, what do you think? Should you avoid any of the commanders in here? Give me a comment right now. Do you see any commanders that I maxed out that I should have avoided? All right, I just want to test your knowledge. So let's get on with it. I assume you did, and I'm going to be reading them. Okay. First commander that you should avoid on wasting your resources is this dude, Hannibal Barca. Now, unless Rise of Kingdoms fixed Hannibal Barca's skills, which they said they will, they said they're going to update Hannibal Barca for this current moment with the skills that Hannibal Barca has right now. It is really not ideal for you to invest on Hannibal Barca. It may benefit you in the KVK1, but at the end of that, there is practically no more use for Hannibal Barca. Now, why did I invest on Hannibal Barca? Well, the reason why is because when I first started playing this game, there wasn't a whole lot of commanders, and Hannibal Barca is really good in the beginning. So without the commanders, the new ones, Hannibal Barca is good. But as the game have developed, there are now more and more commanders, and if you are a new player, you have the benefit of foreseeing what commanders you should be investing. So if you're going to be spending money on Hannibal Barca, I would say it's okay for you to obtain the Books of Covenants through that process, which is right here. It's okay. You can max out Hannibal Barca if you want, since you already have the sculptures. And I really wouldn't suggest to you to invest a lot of stars in Hannibal Barca. Maybe 3 stars, level 40, max it out. That's okay. Stars are relatively hard to come by. Honestly, for me, I think stars are a little bit harder to come by than legendary commander sculptures. So that's number 1. Avoid Hannibal Barca. All right, unless if you're really true of a whale, there's benefits for Hannibal Barca, having that debuff ability of Barca and more troops. But honestly, most of the time, once you get into the later stage of the game, you probably wouldn't use Barca because there are other commanders that are so much better than Barca. Now, if you've already invested on Barca, you can keep using it as a debuffer. You can store a lot of troops in there, and you can do mixed troops, and you can definitely do some mixed troops there on the field whenever you're running out of specific types of units to run your full marches that are specific units. Then you can go and use Hannibal Barca. But honestly, you can find a better commander than Hannibal Barca. Now, the second commander that I would say that you should probably avoid is Julius Caesar. As you can see, there's a lot of trend in here. You see, we're talking about leadership, conquering, attack commanders in here. I never invested on Julius Caesar, and I know he is going to be the mightiest governor season 1 commander that you can get. And a lot of people, first time playing the game, you see Julius Caesar. Oh wow, JC, right? I want this guy. Prominent commander, prominent emperor. So very well known. I think the game really put him as the #1 MGE because Julius Caesar, everybody knows who Julius Caesar is. So there's really no good long-term use for Julius Caesar. Now, in the beginning, it could be really good, benefits you, but in the beginning, you're gonna have a hard time with the Richard and Martel combination. So in the KVK season 1, those are the 2 commanders that you should definitely invest, not on Julius Caesar. Now, Julius Caesar, like I said, late game, no great value. A lot of people don't use Julius Caesar anymore. So again, you can actually do the same strategy with Hannibal Barca, with Julius Caesar. When you're running low on troops, you can have mixed troops, and you can run it with Julius Caesar. Now, Julius Caesar is like, Scipio Africanus, this guy, on steroids, okay? So he's pretty good, but I'm just saying that there are better commanders to invest on than Julius Caesar. One of the reasons is because of the talent tree. So the talent tree really have a big impact on your commander. Number 3 that you should definitely avoid in here as a commander is this dude. So I think Lilith has also said that they are gonna be changing it, but I haven't seen any changes yet from this commander. This commander is utterly complete shit. If you are going to use this one, you should reconsider your gaming. This guy is really good for conquering cities, but you don't want to invest on a commander just for that, right? This commander, Charlemagne, you get this for the KVK season 1, and a lot of people would fight and die for it. Honestly, if you want to lose your KVK season 1, go for it. This is not worth fighting for. This is not worth fighting for. Okay, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that. This guy is shit. Right? I have him. I didn't invest on him. Trash. If I want to go over the skills, there's really no value. Just take my word for it. This is not a good commander to invest on. So number 4 that I would say that you should probably avoid is Frederick. Now, I invested on this guy in the beginning because, like I said, in the beginning, we didn't really have a whole lot of commanders. But Frederick, late game, really no good value. I wouldn't want you to waste your universal sculptures, your stars. Rather, you can invest out on a new commander that can serve you a lot more purpose. So I would honestly avoid Frederick as well. Now, if you're gonna work on Frederick, you can definitely just go through it with the golden chest. So in the golden chest, you can obtain a Frederick there. So you go to your tavern, go to your rewards list. So in the golden chest, you can see that we can, invest on these guys, right? In here, definitely Julius Caesar. I wouldn't even work on that. I mean, imagine you get this from the tavern. Like, don't fight for this guy for mightiest governor. Honestly, it's trash. Mehmed is another one that I would say you kind of should avoid. Let me finish. I would avoid Mehmed on getting level 60. I would keep Mehmed if you do invest on him to only level 30, get the max skill. It has some benefit for canyons. It has some benefit if you are rallying city, but open field as well because of AoE and high damage. But I wouldn't invest stars on Mehmed. Run a specific type of unit instead. Maybe use a YSG, Yi Song-ye, and then use a Mehmed as a secondary. That's a good combination to do. Like I said, avoid Freddy. El Cid, I wouldn't totally tell you to avoid it. A lot of people would tell you to avoid it. I like El Cid. He has some good purpose for me, but he is not like the ultimate archer as well. So if you're an archer gang, you want to skip on El Cid, that's totally acceptable. I barely use El Cid at this moment, so I'll let you take that judgment. I know some people love to use El Cid still, and I know some Ark of Osiris, they've actually used El Cid. So it has some purpose because he has ability to disable commanders. So if you're looking into a high level playing, then yeah, you can definitely use El Cid. But if you're, normal player, I wouldn't recommend El Cid for you. There's really no value for you to have El Cid. You can invest on other commanders that are better. Ishida as well, and the Cleopatra, I would just run its course, get it through the golden chest or whenever you have the events. I'd say for the Cleopatra, Sundeok, and Ishida, you can definitely just, max them out really here through Commander Sculpture Chest, and of course the golden keys as well. So with that being said, I mean, those are the few things that I want to mention that you should definitely avoid and not get into investing your stars, as well as Tommy Riz. Don't invest a lot of stars in Tommy Riz. There's really no good value for her being a primary commander. I have never seen somebody run primary commander with Tommy. Besides that, everything is really pretty good. Maybe we will have a more of a dedicated video what commanders you shouldn't invest your stars in, because there's a lot more in here, like Takeda, right? There's a lot more. Maybe we will do that video. Just to recap in here, commanders that you should probably avoid is Hannibal, Barca, Charlemagne, Julius Caesar definitely, and Frederick, and potentially Mehmed. Mehmed has some better value than all of them. I wouldn't just cross out Mehmed, but all these commanders, there are other better commanders to invest your time, money, and in-game resources. So hopefully this can guide you to success in Rise of Kingdoms, save you a lot of goodies out there, and not waste them. All right, hopefully this is helpful. I will see you again next time. Thank you, rockers.